Does it add up? Atheists argue that pain, suffering, disease, and natural disasters prove there is no God.
Suffering makes God's existence unlikely.
Where are the earthquakes coming from? Where are the lightning strikes coming from?
But does that equation really add up? The Christian worldview tells a different story. These things do not prove the inexistence of God. Rather, they reveal, 1, the consequences of sin. We have to go back to the garden where Adam and Eve brought sin and death to all humanity through rebellion against God. Genesis chapter 3, 17 through 19 says, "Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you." So we see that Adam and Eve's sin just didn't affect them, but it affected the land. It affected the ground. That is the nature of sin. It never just affects one generation, but it affects our whole environment. To the woman, he said, "I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor, you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." Since Adam and Eve's rebellion, sin has corrupted the natural order, leading to death, suffering, and even environmental disorder. 2. The activity of Satan. Scripture shows that Satan actively seeks to destroy humanity through sickness, disaster, and war. In the story of Job, Satan causes a windstorm that destroys Job's eldest son's house, killing his son and all his siblings who were celebrating inside with him. And in chapter 2, verse 7, Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and struck Job with loathsome swords from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. And in the New Testament, Satan acts to sift Simon and all the disciples like wheat, but Jesus prayed for Simon that his faith wouldn't fail. This is why it's important for us as believers to stay alert and pray, because the devil lurks around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour, and it is our responsibility to cancel the plans of the enemy through prayer. That leads us to our third point, human responsibility. God created us as co-creators with free will. When we reject his ways, we allow sin and evil to flourish instead of pushing back against it through faith, obedience, and prayer. James chapter 4 says, "Submit yourselves then to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." When we are submitted to God, the devil must submit to us. Luke chapter 10 verse 19 says, "Look, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you." This is the power that Jesus gives to his disciples. To our final point, God's redemption. Through Jesus Christ, we have the power to resist evil and restore what was broken. But without him, we remain vulnerable to the enemy's influence. In 1 John 3 verse 8, it says, "He who sins is of the devil, for the devil has sinned from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the work of the devil." So if you're a believer, you are a solution to destroying the destruction in the world. In short, suffering doesn't prove God's absence or inexistence. It proves the reality of sin, the work of the devil, and the urgent need for humanity to align with God's will. We are called to be active participants in his restoration plan. The real question is, will we choose life or allow darkness to rule? Does it add up? You decide. Thanks for watching. If you believe in what we're doing, silencing the noise, amplifying the truth, and turning people from destruction, consider supporting Mike Solo Studios at patreon.com/Mike Solo Studios. Your support helps us create more content that challenges deception and points people to Jesus. Together, we can make a difference. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.